Hello and welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is a brand new series, so this first part is a bit short, please bear with us. Inside a bustling university cafeteria, students grabbed their trays, each heading to their own table. A heavy-set friend carried two heaping trays over to Chen, nudging him awake. Leo, get up and eat. Your dad brought you lunch. Leo is dead to the world, drool pooling on the table, lost in a dream about reaching a 3-star rank. His friend lifted his head and shouted, "How can you be this tired? You even fall asleep while eating. Don't tell me you were up late again last night, talking on the phone with Sophie Tong." The scent of food finally broke through, and Leo's eyes fluttered open. Where am I? It smells so good. Food. What the hell? Suddenly, he slammed his hands on the table. Is this really edible? Seeing this outburst, the students nearby jumped in their seats. Whoa, this guy's completely lost it. Leo looked like he'd just time-traveled from the Great Famine. His friend yelled out, "Dude, what the hell are you doing?" Leo ignored him, furiously stuffing food into his mouth, chewing like a man possessed. His friend pleaded, "Slow down, man, you're going to choke." Everyone around them stared, completely baffled by his savage hunger. Not stopping for a second, Leo even grabbed his friend's tray and dumped it straight into his mouth. "What the hell are you doing? That's my lunch." A moment later, Leo's stomach was stretched tight like a drum as he leaned back, finally full. "I'm alive. I'm really alive again." Wiping the scraps from his mouth, Leo was in disbelief. "I've actually been reborn." His friend sat beside him, exasperated. "Are you full now? Seriously, were you a starving ghost in a past life? Who eats like that? You ate enough to feed a dog." A dangerous glint appeared in Leo's eyes as he replied, "I really was a starving ghost. In the Ice Age apocalypse, I starved to death." Judging by the look in his eyes, he wasn't just making things up. Hearing this, his friend grew concerned. Are you okay? What's going on with you? Did Sophie Tong dump you?" "Getting dumped would be a good thing. I'm telling you, that woman is nothing but trouble. Tonight, you and I are going out to live like kings. How about it?" Before he could finish, Leo placed a hand on Victor Fan's shoulder, his voice deadly serious. "Victor, it's so good to see you alive. Everything can start over. Everything can still be saved." Hearing this, Victor started to get seriously creeped out. "Dude, can you stop talking like that? You're scaring me. Of course I'm still alive." Leo pressed on. "Now, what's today's date? You don't even know that. Today is May 15th, 2024. The realization hit Leo like a truck as he warned, "It's coming. In just half a month, the entire world is going to plunge into a brutal, deep freeze. A blizzard is coming that will last for 3 entire months. When that happens, the whole world will be frozen solid. The temperature will drop to -50 degrees. Hearing this, Victor Fan burst into laughter. "That's getting more and more ridiculous. It's summer, dude. The high today is 40 degrees. And you're telling me it's going to snow? No, seriously, did something happen to you? Your big bro here will solve it for you, but you can't just spout nonsense like this." Suddenly, Leo shot to his feet. "I do have something I need your help with." Victor took a sip of water and answered generously, "Name it. If it's something I can do, it's not a problem. What are brothers for, right?" Leo slammed his hand on the table. "Lend me 1 billion. Are you freaking kidding me?" Victor answered bluntly, "I don't have 1 billion. You've really got some nerve. I couldn't get 1 billion even if I sold my own father. So, how much could your dad sell for?" Victor stroked his chin, thinking, "My dad. At most, he'd probably sell for 500 million. Realizing what he just said, Victor exploded. "Wait a minute, you're the one selling your dad. Are you even speaking English? How can you say something so despicable?" From behind them, a voice echoed through the luxurious space. "Sophie, my dear, I booked a private room on the 2nd floor. Let's go eat there." Hearing that voice, Victor turned around, his face contorting in shock. The guy was relentlessly trying to sweet-talk Sophie. "After we eat, we can go to a private cinema and watch a movie. I'll show you my special treasure." That line made her giggle with delight. "Oh, Damien, you're so naughty, but I love it." Seeing Sophie acting like that, Victor slammed the table and spun around in a rage. "Leo, it's Sophie Tong. That woman is cheating on you with Damien Yang, the young master of the Haolong group." His voice was so loud it grabbed their attention. When she saw Chen sitting there like a statue, her eyes widened in shock. She shrieked, Chen, what are you doing here?" Sophie's tone made Victor snap. "Sophie Tong, how dare you face Leo? After he sacrificed so much for you. He practically starved himself just to buy you designer clothes, and now you're sneaking around on a date with another guy." She ignored his words, crossing her arms with a smug sneer as she looked down on him. "Since you've already seen it, I have nothing more to explain. It's exactly what it looks like." The atmosphere suddenly turned grim, filled with dark, painful memories. It was all coming back to him. How Xiaodi had been brutally beaten by Zifeng. Tran Quang was the one who saved her, only to be cast aside by the very woman he rescued. The memories flooded his mind, his gaze turning ice cold. Song Xiaodi, in his past life, she cheated on him with Yang Zifeng. But after the ice apocalypse began, Yang Zifeng tossed her aside like a piece of garbage. And yet, I foolishly took her back. I worshipped her like a goddess, starving myself just so she could have a full stomach. My reward? Betrayal, time and time again. In the end, even my death from starvation was her doing. His friend turned, seeing the dark expression on Tran Quang's face, and cried out in alarm, "Tran Quang, you heard all of that. This woman has dropped all pretense. Let's just go." Hearing this, Tran Quang merely clenched his fists, growling. Not yet. The words had barely left his mouth when Fan Viet's confused voice cut in. What do you mean, not yet? Why would you stay here? A woman like her just makes me want to puke. Meanwhile, the other two shot Tran Quang, a look dripping with contempt. Zifeng sneered, his voice laced with venom. Tran Quang. I've heard stories about Xiaodi's pathetic little lapdog. Xiaodi always said you were like a leech, constantly stuck to her. Looks like she was right. Xiaodi's face was a mask of confidence and fury. She pointed a finger right at him, her words a whip. Tran Quang, you should really take a hard look in the mirror. Stop clinging to me. All those things you did. You were the only one moved by them. To me, it was nothing but harassment. Frankly, your obsession is disgusting. Tran Quang's eyes flashed with a deadly light, his suppressed aura flaring to life. Are you two done talking? Seeing this reaction, Zifeng wrapped an arm around Xiaodi's waist, sneering. What's this? You're still not leaving? Are you hoping your expert bootlicking skills will somehow win Xiaodi back? Xiaodi chimed in, her voice dripping with scorn. Feng, darling, even if he got on his knees and begged right now, I wouldn't even look at him, because you are my one true love. Sensing things were about to explode, his friend rushed forward to intervene. Tran Quang, let's go. Staying here will only get you humiliated. But Tran Quang remained motionless, his gaze like ice, as he spoke softly. Give me 5 more minutes. Hearing this, his friend was completely bewildered. What do you need 5 minutes for? My friend, you're a smart guy. How can you not see what's happening? Yang Zifeng took a step forward, a wicked grin spreading across his face as he stared down Tran Quang. 5 minutes? Huh. I'm curious to see just how much of a dog you can be in 5 minutes. If you put on a good show, I might even give you a reward. How about a piece of toilet paper we've already used? He couldn't even finish the sentence before the sharp crack of a fist connecting with his face echoed through the air. Xiaodi froze for a second, then shrieked in panic, Feng. Fan Viet, standing in the crowd, couldn't believe his eyes. A cold sweat broke out on his brow. What was happening? Yang Zifeng's face was now a twisted mask of fury, his eyes burning red. He roared, You bastard! You dare to hit me! Screaming, Zifeng swung a wild punch straight at Tran Quang. I'll kill you. But in a split second, Tran Quang delivered a clean, powerful kick straight to his chest. Get lost. The sight made his friend's jaw drop, his eyes widening in utter disbelief. He's that strong? Yang Zifeng was sprawled face down on the ground. A frantic Xiaodi rushed to his side. Feng, are you all right? As she helped him up, she hurled a torrent of abuse at Tran Quang. Tran Quang, how dare you lay a hand on Feng? You're a dead man. Feng is the heir to the Haolong group. Zifeng, tired of her yelling, shoved her aside. Get out of my way. With a roar, he charged again, fists flying. I'm a Taekwondo black belt. You think I can't take down a little brat like you? In that decisive instant, Tran Quang calmly raised a fist, driving it straight into Yang Zifeng's chin. Garbage. A moment later, Zifeng was knocked out cold, sprawled on the floor. Tran Quang stood over him, a quiet thought echoing in his mind. The apocalypse. It was a disaster, but also an opportunity. During that time, I mastered several basic combat techniques. Dealing with an all-talk pretty boy like him is no problem at all. Fan Viet could only stare, struggling to ask. Tran Quang. When did you get this strong? In front of them, Zifeng lay defeated on the ground while Xiaodi continued to shriek with a face full of rage. Her tirade was endless. Are you insane? You scum, you hurt Feng again. This isn't over. She suddenly shot to her feet, rushing at him with pure hatred in her eyes. Tran Quang, I can't believe you're this kind of person. Get on your knees and apologize to Feng right now. If you don't, I will never, ever forgive you. Done listening to her screeching, Tran Quang cut her off with a cold, hard slap across the face. And just who the hell are you? Zifeng struggled back to his feet, his face contorted in pain. He pointed a trembling finger, roaring, All right, you ignorant mutt. You don't know your place. I'll use every resource at my disposal to destroy you. Crushing you will be as easy as stepping on an ant. But as Zifeng lunged forward, Tran Quang struck first. A kick sent blood flying, and in that same motion, his hand darted into Zifeng's inner jacket pocket. Zifeng staggered back, clutching his face in agony. What? What did you do? Tran Quang stood tall, a small vial now held firmly in his hand. A faint smirk appeared on his face. So, I finally found you. Spotting the object in Chen Guang's hand, he roared, lunging forward in a blind rage. Give that back to me. But Chen Guang just held up the bottle, his eyes cold and filled with contempt, feeling guilty now. Are we? How many girls have you ruined with this? Zifeng charged forward, screaming in a furious frenzy. You little punk. I don't know what you're talking about. Just give it back. Without hesitation, Chen Guang spun around, raised the bottle, and sprayed its contents directly into his face, causing Zifeng to howl. You're insane. He staggered backward, clutching his head and screaming in utter despair. Seeing this, Xiao Dai rushed over in a panic. Brother Feng, what's wrong? Are you okay? She cried out repeatedly. Brother Feng, what's happening to you? Zifeng tried to wave her away, his voice strained. Get away. Stay away from me. Suddenly, his eyes widened, his gaze becoming wild and uncontrollable. Zifeng lunged, insanely grabbing for Xiao Dai. In a flash, he ripped her outer layer of clothing. Terrified, Xiao Di screamed, Brother Feng, no. We're in the cafeteria. But Zifeng held her tight as she struggled desperately, crying for help. What are you doing? Stop. Somebody, save me. Chen Guang had seen enough. He placed a hand on Pan Yue's shoulder with a knowing smile. 5 minutes are up. Let's go. Pan Yue, startled, blushed and whispered, This is way too intense. What on earth happened to Yang Zifeng? Chen Guang held the red vial up, calmly explaining, This is a potent aphrodisiac. Once inhaled, you lose all reason and turn into a beast driven purely by lust. Yang Zifeng always used this on others. This time, I let him taste his own medicine. Pan Yue glanced back at the two entangled figures, a hint of worry in his eyes. This is the cafeteria. After all, there are so many people. What if Yang Zifeng calls the police? Hearing this, Chen Guang just chuckled softly, his gaze filled with confidence. Don't worry. Yang Zifeng has ruined countless girls with that stuff. Some of them even took their own lives. He'd never dare let this get out, would he? The corner of his mouth curled into a cold smirk, his sharp eyes revealing a calculated plan. Besides, Yang Zifeng is the young master of the How Long group. He's far too arrogant. He'll come after me for revenge himself. The more Pan Yue listened to Chen Guang, the more he thought, crossing his arms. He nodded in agreement. That's true. With Yang Zifeng's personality, he'll only try to deal with you quietly. Outside the cafeteria, the two walked side by side. Pan Yue quickly asked, So where are we going now? Chen Guang turned his head, a decisive smile on his lips. To sell my house. The scene shifts to a real estate agency office. Inside, Chen Guang sat signing papers, his pen gliding swiftly across the contract. Pan Yu stood beside him, his eyes wide with shock. This is the only house your parents left you. Are you really just going to sell it like that? Chen Guang answered calmly, Yeah. He lowered his head, his eyes sharp, his mind filled with calculations. 3.1 million yuan in hand. Before the apocalypse, I have to stockpile as many supplies as possible. It's the only way to gain the upper hand when the frozen end of the world arrives. The female agent handed the contract to Chen Guang. Pan Yue, standing behind him, was still stunned. Housing prices are soaring right now. Even if you want to sell, you don't have to be in such a rush. I really don't understand what you're thinking. As they left the office, Chen Guang walked ahead, speaking without a hint of hesitation. On to the next location. Pan Yue hurried to catch up. Where are we going now? Chen Guang turned back, a brilliant smile on his face, his eyes lit with excitement. To the supermarket to spend some money. Inside, the shelves were packed with food. His voice rang out with absolute conviction. Rice, flour, noodles, and cooking oil. I'll take 1,000 of each. Aisles were lined with canned goods and drinks. And all of these canned foods, 10,000 of each. A supermarket employee held a clipboard, her hand trembling as she asked, Sir, are you sure about this? Chen Guang stood tall with his arms crossed, a confident smirk on his face. Positive. Pan Yue stood nearby, his expression a mask of pure disbelief. Chen Guang, are you trying to buy out the entire supermarket? He turned to the employee, his voice calm but firm. That's right. With a purchase this large, you can deliver it, can't you? The employee gave a professional smile, patiently explaining, You can rest assured, sir. Not only will we deliver, but we can also handle the entire unloading process for you. Just give me the address, and we'll provide door-to-door service. Chen Guang tilted his head in thought, then turned to Pan Yu. Pan Yue, I I remember you have an empty warehouse on the outskirts of the city, right? Pan Yue was taken aback, a wary look in his eyes. What are you planning? You're not seriously thinking of putting all this stuff in my family's warehouse, are you? Chen Guang chuckled and clapped his friend on the shoulder. Well, I have to ask. That's right. Let me borrow the warehouse for a few days. Give me the address. I'm going to go buy a few more things. Not far away, two girls looked over, their eyes full of curiosity. Hey, look. Isn't that Chen Guang from our class? I heard he got cheated on by Song Xiao Dai. Liu Qi crossed her arms, her gaze suspicious. This supermarket requires a membership card. What's he even doing here? Can he even afford to shop here? Chen Guang stood before the electronics counter, pointing at the devices with a decisive voice. Give me 5 of each of these satellite computers, and 10 of those TVs and gaming consoles. His eyes were like ice as Chen Guang sank into his own thoughts. The apocalypse is coming. The world outside will be frozen over. We'll be stuck indoors, so entertainment is a must. The store employee beamed, their voice filled with utter respect. Of course, sir. You're our biggest customer of the year. The two girls turned pale, their eyes wide with unconcealed shock. Am I hearing this right? Those satellite computers are insanely expensive, and he's buying 5 at once? That's at least 200,000 yuan right there. And these gaming consoles and TVs aren't cheap either. How does a broke loser like Chen Guang have this kind of cash? Overhearing them, he gestured with his hand, his voice booming. Bag up all of these appliances. And those down jackets, too. I'm buying it all. Xiao Ran was stunned, breaking out in a cold sweat. Is this guy really the loser we thought he was? He just dropped millions in a single moment. Their gazes turned sharp and calculating, watching him spend money like water. I've never seen anyone this rich. There's only one possibility. Chen Guang is a second-generation heir, hiding his identity. Hearing this, her friend lit up. That has to be it. Let's go over there. This is a golden opportunity. Chen Guang stood, chin in hand, lost in thought. He'd already spent more than half of his funds, but the basic guarantees for surviving the apocalypse were now secured. Next, it was time for something even more important. His eyes suddenly sharpened. He could feel a familiar pair of eyes on his back. A sugary sweet voice called out, Chen Guang. Long time no see. The two women approached, all smiles under the bright lights. Xiao Ran spoke in a soft tone. That's right. I can't believe it's only been a few days. Chen Guang, you've gotten so handsome. Chen Guang's eyes narrowed, silently sizing up the two women before him. Zhang Xiao Ran and Liu Ji were vultures, plain and simple. When the apocalypse hit, they used their bodies to attract a pack of thugs, robbing everyone in sight. He remembered how they'd robbed him, too, stripping him of everything, even the clothes on his back. He almost froze to death that time. Xiao Ran smirked playfully. Chen Guang, why so quiet? Are we like strangers to you now? Why don't we go grab a meal together? The moment the words left her mouth, he agreed instantly. All right, Pan Yue, get this stuff back for me. I have some business to attend to. Liu Ji leaned in, whispering with a satisfied grin. This idiot actually agreed. We're going to bleed him dry today. Xiao Ran agreed with delight. I know a high-end restaurant that just opened nearby. I heard a single meal there costs at least 5,000 to 6,000 yuan. Since we have a sucker to pay for it, let's go check it out. Chen Guang finally spoke up, urging them on. Let's go. I'm starting to get hungry. A few minutes later, the three of them were standing before a massive building. Sunlight streamed down, making the scene feel pristine. Liu Jie smiled, probing him. So, Chen Guang, what do you think of this place? He scratched his head, acting impressed. Wow, it's so fancy. Must be expensive. Xiao Ran was getting impatient. She tugged at his arm. Chen Guang, we don't just bring anyone here, you know. Let's hurry inside. I'm starving. Once inside, the magnificent space buzzed with conversation, creating an atmosphere of pure luxury. Just then, a voice piped up. So Chen Guang, what do you think of the menu? Chen Guang picked up the menu, the corner of his eye twitching. Isn't this a little too expensive? Xiao Ran shook her head, scoffing. Not at all. What part of this is expensive? Liu Ji eagerly snatched the menu from his hands. If you're not going to order, then we will. Without another word, she turned to the waiter. Black caviar, Wagyu beef, Antarctic lobster. Oh, and these two. We'll take all of it. An hour passed in the blink of an eye. The table was now covered in empty plates. Xiao Ran clutched her wine glass, letting out a satisfied sigh. That was an amazing meal. I haven't eaten this well in ages. She then brazenly asked, Chen Guang, how did you like it? A small smirk played on his lips as he stood up. It was delicious. I'm full, too. I'm just going to step out for a second. With that, Chen Guang walked slowly towards the front counter. The cashier spoke politely. Sir, your total comes to 18,800 yuan. Will that be cash or card? He quickly cut her off. I'm not here to pay the bill. I want you to prepare 100 sets of the meal we just had. I'll come pick them up in 10 days. The cashier was stunned. 100 sets. Sir, are you sure? In response, he simply presented a gold-plated card. I can pay in advance. Chen Guang was already calculating in his head. During the apocalypse, he'd be eating canned food every single day until he wanted to vomit. To guarantee his quality of life, ordering 100 gourmet meals was a smart move. He could ration them out. As for how to preserve the food, he was sure he'd figure something out in the next 10 days. Meanwhile, the two women were whispering behind his back. Liu Ji snickered. Even though Chen Guang is a bit cheap, complaining about the price, at least he knows to go pay the bill right away. He's not totally clueless. Xiao Ran was thrilled. It's not every day you meet a rich idiot like this. After this, let's take him to buy some new bags. A moment later, the cashier politely held up the card. Sir, your order for 100 meals has been placed. As for the bill for the meal you just ate. But before she could finish, Chen Guang snatched the card back. They can pay for their own. He chuckled to himself. The money from the house was almost gone. Time to find the next cash cow. A moment later, Chen Guang scrolled through a loan site. The scene cuts to him walking outside, calculating in his head. There's no way to max them all out. From 36 small loan apps, he'd already pulled 2.7 million yuan, and he still had more than half of them left to go. Now this was a real get-rich-quick scheme. Just then, his phone rang. It was Zhang Xiaoran, her voice dripping with annoyance from inside a restaurant. Chen Guang, where are you? But Chen Guang just smiled cheerfully. Something came up, so I headed out first. Chen Guang then asked coolly, why should I be the one to pay? Hearing this, Xiaoran immediately flew into a rage. Nonsense, you invited me and Liu Ji to dinner. If you don't pay, who will? He shot back, his voice low and serious. When did I ever say I was treating you? Weren't you the ones who dragged me here? Besides, you ordered all the food. What does that have to do with me? His words only made her more hysterical. Chen Guang, do you have any shame as a man? After a meal this expensive, you expect me and Liu Ji to pay for it. As soon as he heard that, Chen Guang raised an eyebrow, completely unbothered. Expensive? Didn't I warn you? You're the ones who picked all the priciest items. Why order them if you think it's too expensive? Inside the fancy restaurant, Xiaoran's shrieks began to draw the attention of everyone around them. Chen Guang, you broke loser. If you can't afford it, you shouldn't have come. You're not a real man. However, Chen Guang continued to provoke her. Broke? Why don't you ask the restaurant if I just ordered 100 tables of this exact meal from them? Just then, the cashier stepped in to clear things up. The gentleman who was with you did, in fact, prepay for 100 identical meals. At that moment, Xiaoran lost all her bravado. Her voice dropped to a pathetic whisper. Chen Guang, I'm begging you. Can you please come back and pay? If you already ordered 100 tables, surely you can afford one more. Chen Guang's patience ran out. He hung up without a second thought, muttering in disgust. Pay for it yourself. I'm not in the habit of feeding a bunch of leeches. A few seconds later, Xiaoran turned to her friend in a panic. He called us leeches, and he's not going to pay. Liu Jie started to panic as well. What are we going to do? We don't have that kind of money. The cashier, sensing the situation, quickly reminded them, ladies, I'm afraid we don't allow customers to run a tab. Xiaoran's face turned purple with rage as she looked for Mr. Hao's contact. Tonight, they would both have to entertain Mr. Hao. Call him over here. I'm going to teach that bastard Chen Guang a lesson. The scene changes to a lottery ticket stand under a pleasant, clear sky. Chen Guang was staring at it from the outside, a smirk on his face. How could I forget about the lottery? He thought. In his past life, at this exact moment, he had won 3,000 yuan by matching the first 5 numbers. The memory was incredibly vivid. If I can win the jackpot on a few dozen tickets, I'll have all the starting capital I need. With that, Chen Guang looked down at the lottery ticket in his hand. He smiled confidently. Now, all he had to do was wait a few days for the lottery results. A short while later, at a warehouse, Chen Guang slowly walked forward. Pan Yue, I'm back. Hearing his voice, Pan Yue immediately looked up, exhausted. So you decided to come back? Huh. You run off to eat and flirt with girls, leaving me here to eat instant noodles, move boxes, and ship your stuff. Do you have a conscience? Chen Guang calmly reassured him, don't be mad. Tonight, I'll take you somewhere for a real thrill. Once they were inside the warehouse, Pan Yue looked completely bewildered. I really don't understand why you spent so much money on all this stuff. What's it for? Chen Guang tilted his head and explained, the frost apocalypse is coming. When it hits, these supplies will be our lifeline. Countless people will freeze to death, starve to death. People will do anything for a single bite of food. Pan Yue, you have to believe me. His friend just raised an eyebrow. You know, if you didn't look so normal, I would seriously think you've gone insane. The thing is, nothing you're saying sounds believable. Chen Guang replied calmly, no rush. In a few days, you'll understand. Just as they stepped outside, two men suddenly blocked their path. You're Chen Guang, he responded coldly. I am. Are you Wang Hao's lackeys? The man named Spike arrogantly tapped a baseball bat against his palm. Oh, so you're the one who dared to flirt with Mr. Hao's woman, a poor student with a lot of nerve. Pan Yue angrily cursed at them. What are you doing? If you try anything, I'll call the police. But the thug showed no fear at all. Call the police? Go ahead. Let's see what's faster, the cops arriving or me breaking both of your legs. Just then, Chen Guang waved his hand. No need to call the police. As soon as he finished speaking, Spike slowly advanced on them. He didn't forget to taunt him. That's right, you little coward. The police can't help you now. Pan Yue quickly moved to stand in front of him. My father is the owner of Pan Construction. We can talk about this. Don't you dare touch my brother. Hearing this, the thug's smile widened. Well, so you're the young master of the Pan Corporation. Don't worry, Mr. Pan, we won't touch you. This has nothing to do with you. But we're definitely going to have our fun with this Chen Guang fellow. Sensing the tide had turned against them, Leo Fan spun around. Ken, get out of here. I'll hold them off. But before he could even move, Fan shoved him aside without a second thought. Seizing the opening, Chalk lunged forward. You got some nerve messing with Hao. I'm gonna crack your skull open. Leo screamed in terror, but Ken simply tilted his head, easily dodging the blow. Pathetic. That sluggish speed screamed amateur. Without a moment's hesitation, he drove a powerful kick straight into Chalk's gut. The club clattered from his grasp and onto the pavement. Blood trickled from the corner of Chalk's mouth. You dare fight back? Ken gave him no time to recover. He snatched the fallen club and slammed it into the thug, sending him stumbling forward. As a final blow, Ken jabbed the end of the club right into Chalk's open mouth. The pain so intense tears streamed down his face. Witnessing this brutality, the other lackeys froze in shock. This guy's a monster. He knocked out all of Big Zhuang's teeth. Ken then pointed the bloody club at the rest of them, a smirk playing on his lips. You're next, all of you. His taunt ignited their fury. Get him. The entire gang swarmed him at once, but it was over in an instant. One by one, they all fell before Ken Tran's relentless assault. And in the aftermath, Leo stood frozen, muttering in utter disbelief. Is this really the Ken I know? He took down 6 guys all by himself. As clouds drifted lazily across the sky, Ken leaned on the club, surveying the carnage. He asked with an air of absolute dominance, have you had enough? The thugs were all unconscious, except for Than, who was trembling uncontrollably. Please, stop. Don't hit us again. We give up. You're too strong. We admit defeat, Ken casually replied. Good. Now pay up. 100,000 yuan. Each. Hearing this, the thug's fear turned to rage. This is blackmail. In response, Ken just slammed the club into his shoulder, making him howl in agony. Ken's expression turned ice cold. Yeah, I'm blackmailing you. You came looking for trouble. You thought this would be over after a simple fight? Pay up. Or I'll make sure none of you walk away from here. A moment later, a notification popped up on Ken's phone. 600,000 yuan received. He let out a satisfied sigh. 600,000 yuan. Just like that. Ken's lips tightened into a thin line. It's not that I'm cruel, he thought. It's what the apocalypse does to you. The naive student I once was is long gone. Besides, guys like Ethan Wang. When the world ended, they committed unspeakable atrocities. I've lost count of how many people they've killed. No matter how cruelly I treat them now, it's nothing compared to what they deserve. A moment later, he slung his arm over Leo's shoulder. Stop spacing out. I'm taking you somewhere. Exciting. The scene shifts to a crowded, pulsating nightclub. The bass thumps so hard it feels like their chests might explode. Scantily clad women dance wildly on every surface. Leo's face turns beet red as he gawks at the scene. Ken, my man, I love this place. After everything that happened today, this is exactly what I needed. Ken, however, walked straight to the bar. I'm here to make a delivery for Boss Kim. The bartender nodded. Wait here. I'll make the call. As a door opened to a back room, both Leo and Ken froze, stunned by what they saw. The color drained from Leo's face. This is the excitement you were talking about. Ken, on the other hand, looked thrilled. I just asked if you wanted excitement. His words made Leo completely lose it, screaming back in panic. Yeah, it's exciting. My heart's about to explode. Damn it, Ken, is this your idea of fun? Where are we? Why did you bring me here? Just then, the crowd parted, their voices joining in a respectful chorus. Uncle Lee is here, Uncle Lee. Uncle Lee. A grim-faced man scanned the room, his gaze landing on Ken. In a low, gravelly voice, he asked, "You're here for the delivery? I don't believe we've met." Unfazed, Ken replied with absolute confidence, "It's our first time. I heard Uncle Lee was in the market to buy, so I came." But seeing that Ken carried nothing with him, the old man's eyes narrowed in confusion. "You're empty-handed. Where's the merchandise?" Ken simply pointed to himself, much to Leo's horror. "It's right here, on us." Uncle Lee let out a dry, humorless laugh. "How interesting. This is the first time I've had merchandise deliver itself to my doorstep." But a second later, his expression hardened. With a flick of his wrist, he gave the order. "Take them." In the blink of an eye, they were completely surrounded. "Don't move. Don't do anything rash. My father is the CEO of Fancorp Construction." Leo was completely freaking out. "Ken, what is going on? What are you delivering?" But Ken just stood there, looking completely unfazed, almost amused by the whole situation. "Uncle Lee is an organ trafficker. The merchandise he's buying is us, so try not to panic." Hearing this, Leo couldn't believe his ears, shaking his head frantically. "What? Organs? Holy crap, Ken, how can you tell me not to panic?" A small smirk played on Ken's lips as he stared down the crime boss. "Uncle Lee, you're a buyer and we're sellers. Is there a problem? Or could it be that the legendary Uncle Lee doesn't have the guts to make the purchase?" The old man scoffed at the sheer absurdity. "Nonsense. There's nothing in this world I'm afraid to buy." Ken's smirk widened, his confidence unwavering as he named his price. "Good. 10. All my organs belong to Uncle Lee." Hearing this, Uncle Lee simply raised a hand, flatly refusing the offer. 5 million is under heavy scrutiny right now, so the price can't go that high. In the next moment, the two of them shook hands, sealing their dark agreement. Chen Guang spoke up. "Deal. But I have one condition. You give me the money first, and in 3 days, I'll deliver the person to you." The man readily agreed. "Fine. But don't even think about running. I have 10,000 ways to find you." With that, Uncle Lee ordered a man behind him to present the servitude contract for them to sign. Seeing this, he pointed towards Pan Yue. "Why is there only one copy? Get another one for him," a demand that made Pan Yue's face drain of all color. "Me?" he stammered. "No, no, no. I'm not for sale." Despite Pan Yue's frantic thrashing, Chen Guang just smirked. "Don't listen to him. He's selling." But Pan Yue continued to shake his head violently. "I'm really not selling. I don't need the money." Seeing his reaction, a thug clamped a hand on his neck and commanded, "Cut the nonsense. Sign it." Once they were outside, Pan Yue was still reeling from the shock, repeatedly questioning him, "Are you even human? I came out with you for some excitement, and you just sold me off." But Chen Guang remained completely calm. "Don't worry about it. I'm taking you somewhere that will truly terrify you." "Damn it. How is this a small matter? I've heard stories about that Uncle Lee. He's the most notorious underworld boss in this city, a master of every evil deed, with eyes and ears everywhere. His methods are legendary. In 3 days, he'll have both of us carved up on a table." In the next second, Chen Guang's eyes sharpened, his voice turning dead serious. "Uncle Lee doesn't just commit evil acts. He is truly heartless. Over the years, who knows how many people's organs he has sold, how many lives he has destroyed. In 3 days, it will be his day to die." Pan Yue was growing more confused by the second. "You want to take on Uncle Lee? What could you possibly use to fight him? He's not like that scumbag Wang Hao. Didn't you see all his men were carrying guns?" Despite his friend's panic, Chen Guang's determination was like steel. "Let's go. Next, I'm going to make you believe the apocalypse is coming." The scene changes to a gorgeous mansion, where a voice rings out, "Sir, are you sure you only want to rent this mansion?" Chen Guang shoved his hands in his pockets, his posture oozing with confidence. "Positive. I'm not renting anything else." Beside him, Pan Yue couldn't stop complaining. "I seriously don't understand you. Why are you renting a mansion?" But he only gave a cryptic reply. "There's something good inside this mansion." Then, Chen Guang recalled events from a time long past. In his past life, when the cataclysm struck, this mansion was the most heavily impacted, yet it also had the most complete supplies. Crucially, a world-changing opportunity appeared here, which is why so many people— I ultimately died here. So many people lost their lives in this place. It was here that I witnessed the tragedy of humans ceasing to be human, committing acts that even demons wouldn't dare. He frowned deeply, making a silent vow. "In my past life, I died here. In this life, this is where I will begin." Just then, the real estate agent looked a bit conflicted. "Mr. Chen, the owner of this mansion has said it's not for rent," but Chen Guang's mind was already made up. "I can pay double the rent." Before the real estate agent could even finish saying the owner didn't need the money, he was cut off by another offer. 5 times the price. This put the agent in a difficult position. Mr. Chen, this isn't a problem that can be solved with money. But Chen Guang still refused to give up. He pushed again, 10 times the amount. I can pay the first month's rent right now. Upon hearing that number, the real estate agent's eyes lit up as he replied, Mr. Chen, rest assured, today, even if I have to call the owner daddy and kowtow to him, I will make sure you get to rent this mansion. After they had reached an agreement, Chen Guang added another condition. I only have one request. I must be allowed to completely renovate this mansion. Hearing this, the agent readily agreed. That's no problem at all. This mansion is an old model anyway. Remodel it however you like. I'll contact the owner right away. At the same time, Xiao Di's mother was leading her daughter inside, saying, Xiao Di, you have to lock down Yang Zifeng. The happiness of the rest of my life depends entirely on you. The appearance of these two immediately caught Pan Yue by surprise. That song Xiao Di. Why is she here too? Hearing this, he replied, It's simple. Yang Zifeng owns a mansion here. The very second her eyes met Chen Guang's, her face froze. Xiao Di immediately pointed her finger at his face and shrieked, Chen Guang, I haven't even settled things with you from last time, and now you're following me. Will you ever just give up? Beside her, Xiao Di's mother couldn't help but add fuel to the fire. So you're Chen Guang, one of my daughter's pathetic simps. Following her to the ends of the earth is useless. But to Chen Guang, these words were nothing more than annoying static. Are you two idiots? Who's following you? Hearing his insult, the woman's pride flared up and she screamed, How dare you curse at me? What is wrong with you? Is this how students act these days? I'm reporting you to your school. I'll have you expelled. I'll even call the police and have you thrown in jail. Hearing this, he just provoked them even more. Why don't you just ask for the death penalty? You idiots. I'm here to rent a house. What business is it of yours? At that, Xiao Di crossed her arms and scoffed. Renting? Chen Guang, do you really think I don't know you? With a monthly allowance of just a few hundred yuan, you think you can afford a place here. A villa in this neighborhood costs at least 20,000 yuan a month. Nearby, the real estate agent couldn't hide his excitement. Mr. Chen, all settled then. 25,000 yuan for the monthly rent. Those words struck Xiao Di's mother like a lightning bolt. She couldn't believe her ears. This broke loser is actually renting this villa? But Xiao Di maintained her arrogant attitude, mocking him. Chen Guang, to think you'd spend so much money on a villa, just to get close to me. Let me tell you, everything you're doing is pointless. I suggest you give up now. Beside them, Pan Yue couldn't hold it in any longer and had to speak. Wow, the delusion is on another level. Does she think she's some kind of goddess? But Chen Guang just smirked. She's not just stupid, she's insane. With that, the two turned to leave. Xiao Di, let's go. So what if he rents a villa to show off? A measly 25,000 yuan a month isn't nearly enough to win your heart. But just as she was about to leave, the agent's voice stopped her in her tracks. Mr. Chen, as you requested, you are willing to pay 10 times the asking price to rent this villa. So the first month's rent will be exactly 250,000 yuan. Chen Guang replied with an incredibly generous wave. Fine, I'll pay right now. At that, both mother and daughter were completely frozen, their jaws hanging open in utter shock. What? 10 times the price? He's bluffing. What kind of fool would pay 10 times the rent for a house? Besides, where would he get that kind of money? Even a personal loan wouldn't cover that much. After making the payment, Chen Guang held out his phone screen and announced, 250,000 yuan, paid in full. The real estate agent then handed him a set of keys. Mr. Chen, the villa is now yours. You're free to renovate it however you'd like. These are the keys to the villa. Chen Guang took them and pulled Pan Yu inside. Let's go. At that moment, Xiao Di's mother still hadn't recovered. Did that kid really just pay 250,000 yuan? Xiao Di, did you see that wrong? Could Chen Guang actually be some rich young master? But she was busy checking her phone, protesting. Impossible. He's an orphan. How could he be a rich kid? I'll ask some other people. As they walked down the street, Chen Guang turned to his friend and asked, Pan Yue, I remember you're close with the owner of Heavenly Sky Decor, the biggest renovation company in our city. Pan Yue nodded. We're in the same business, so yeah, we're acquainted. But Chen Guang's next words left him completely stunned. Then ask your dad to book an appointment for me. I want to renovate the villa. Pan Yue simply couldn't understand his friend anymore. Dude, seriously, what are you up to? You paid 10 times the price for an old villa, and now you're going to renovate it yourself. But Chen Guang just smirked mischievously. Quit the chatter and just book the appointment. You'll understand tonight. A second later, he held up his phone, looking just as excited. I got the appointment. Heavenly Sky was supposed to be fully booked today, but my dad pulled some strings. Their boss cleared his entire schedule just to meet you personally. Chen Guang then scratched the back of his neck, impressed. Nice. Your dad really has some influence. I'll send your father a truckload of instant noodles as thanks later. This made Pan Yue curse out loud. What the hell? You're giving instant noodles as a gift, a whole truckload. My dad has never eaten that kind of junk food. But Chen Guang remained perfectly composed, his eyes full of playful anticipation. Don't worry. In the future, your dad will come to find that instant noodles are a delicacy. The scene changes. Inside an office, a voice is heard. Please wait a moment, our director will be here shortly. Xiao Dai's mother looked at her daughter with a sly glint in her eyes. Xiao Dai, since Yang Zifeng is paying for this renovation, we have to make sure to make it as beautiful as possible. Xiao Di replied with absolute confidence. Mom, relax. Heavenly Sky Decor is the biggest renovation company in the city. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't. At the same time, she noticed a staff member talking to Chen Guang. Excuse me, sirs, do you have an appointment? Immediately, Xiao Dai's voice dripped with provocation. Chen Guang, you're really as persistent as a leech. I come to a renovation company, and you follow me here, too. You think this will move my heart? Dream on. But he just looked utterly bored by her. Damn it. Why did we have to run into these two idiots again? Just then, Pan Yu stepped forward with a smirk. Song Xiao Dai, Chen Guang is also here to hire renovation services. Don't get ahead of yourself. Hearing this, she let out a contemptuous laugh. Renting a place just to renovate it for someone else? Is there anyone in the world that foolish? A moment later, he strode forward with an air of confidence and introduced himself. My name is Chen Guang. I have a scheduled appointment. The receptionist's expression changed instantly. Oh, so you're Mr. Chen Guang? Please wait a moment. Nearby, Xiao Di's mother began to gossip judgmentally. Is this kid really here to hire renovation services? She scoffed, acting as if she'd seen it all. Whether it's real or not, he's obviously just trying to show off. Just then, from the main hall, the receptionist saw someone arrive and eagerly greeted them. Manager Zhao, you've arrived. His voice was cold as his eyes scanned the room. Where is the person I'm scheduled to meet? She respectfully pointed to a quiet corner where Chen Guang was calmly waiting. At that moment, Xiao Dai's mother's eyes lit up as if she'd struck gold, and she quickly composed herself. It's Manager Zhao of Tianhong. I never thought Yang Zifeng had enough influence to have Manager Zhao personally greet us. Without hesitation, she turned to Chen Guang with a sneer. Do you see that? You should understand your place in the world. This is the vast gap between our statuses. The head of Tianhong is here to greet my Xiao Dai, while you just have to wait in a corner. As she finished speaking, Xiao Di confidently puffed out her chest, stepping forward with a pageant-perfect smile. Manager Zhao, it's a pleasure to meet you. He frowned in confusion. Do you have an appointment with me? Her smile became stiff, but she stubbornly held it in place. Manager Zhao, I'm the one who made the appointment. Hearing this, his patience started to wear thin. Is your name Chen Guang? Xiao Dai was flustered. Huh. I'm not Chen Guang. My name is Song Xiao Dai. Wasting no more words, Manager Zhao dismissed her like a fly. If you're not Chen Guang, why are you stepping forward? Move aside. At that same moment, Chen Guang extended his hand with a polite smile. Manager Zhao, I'm Chen Guang. Upon seeing his actual client, the manager's attitude did a complete 180, becoming as warm as a spring day. I didn't expect you to be so young. Let's go inside to discuss the details. Xiao Di's mother stood there stunned. Xiao Di, what's happening? Why is a powerful figure like Manager Zhao personally greeting him? She gritted her teeth, convinced. It has to be Pan Yue pulling strings for him. Pan Yu's family is well off. There's no way Chen Guang has this kind of power on his own. The scene changes to the general manager's office. Inside, Manager Zhao asked politely, Young Mr. Chen, what kind of property are you looking to renovate? Chen Guang stated firmly, Manager Zhao, I want to renovate a villa. Hearing this, the manager's experienced mind began crunching the numbers. A villa renovation, you say? A simple matter. A budget renovation would cost around 5 to 600,000 yuan. A high-end one would be about 3 to 5 million yuan. I'll call our head of design to discuss the details with you. But Chen Guang's tone was firm. Manager Zhao, I think it would be better if you handled this project personally. The manager looked busy, trying to find a polite way to refuse. Young man, to be frank, I am quite busy. I usually only get personally involved with my largest accounts. Without missing a beat, a smirk appeared on Chen Guang's face. Manager Zhao. I am a large account. Hearing that, the manager calmly made a request. Very well, then tell me your projected budget. Chen Guang bluntly dropped a bombshell of a number. At least 30 million yuan. Manager Zhao chuckled dismissively. 30 million is hardly. His words caught in his throat as the number sank in. He shouted in disbelief. What? 30 million? The manager was completely stunned. Young man, Are you absolutely sure you mean 30 million and not 3 million? Chen Guang confirmed it without batting an eye. Manager Zhao, I'm certain. 30 million. Just then, the head of design rushed into the room. Manager Zhao, I'm here. Let me take over with these two guests. However, the manager shot down his offer with a single glare. Your help won't be needed. I will be negotiating this project personally. Next, Manager Zhao asked with burning curiosity. Young man, in this city, you could buy a villa for less than 30 million. What in the world are you planning to build? Chen Guang then slid a set of blueprints across the desk. These are my plans. Please have a look, Manager Zhao. The moment he saw the bizarre requirements, he gasped in shock. Good heavens. Are you building a fortress? Chen Guang answered decisively. Manager Zhao, if the budget isn't enough, I can increase it. In all of Jiangnan province, only your company has the capability to build what I want. My only demand is that it's finished in half a month. The manager broke into a cold sweat and frowned as he listed the specs. Half a month is nearly impossible. This requires an independent drinking water system, an HVAC system that can withstand negative 90 degrees, a ventilation system, a filtration system, plus reinforcements of 20-centimeter thick steel. This is a full-blown military bunker. Not even a tank could breach it. Young man, why are you renovating a house like this? Anyone who didn't know better would think the apocalypse was coming. Chen Guang didn't waste words. He went straight for the kill. Manager Zhao, you should proceed as if the apocalypse is coming. I can transfer 20 million to you today as a down payment with an additional 5 million as a bonus. The remaining balance will be transferred 3 days after construction is complete. Hearing those numbers, the manager's spirit soared with motivation. All right, if you're going to be so decisive, I will immediately mobilize every employee in this company to work 24 hours a day, non-stop. I guarantee that in half a month, we will build you the perfect fortress, a safe house for you. After their talk, a bewildered Fin fan confronted him. Tristan, is this what you meant by renovations? 35 million to renovate a rental villa? You've completely lost your mind. But Tristan Quang calmly advised him, soon, the most worthless thing in the world will be money. Don't hold on to it. Go home and tell your father the same. Fin shot back, flustered. That's not the point. Where did you get the cash? Even if you sold yourself, and me along with you, we'd only get 10 million. You already made a $20 million down payment. Where did the rest come from? Tristan answered with a playful smirk. I exploited a legal loophole for the other 10 million. Fin was speechless, finally warning him. This apocalypse of yours had better be real, or you can forget about me ever having your back again. Just then, Heidi blocked their path, sneering. Tristan Quang, aren't you just trying to get my attention? Go on, tell me. How much did you spend on this renovation? He shot back with cold indifference. What the hell does it have to do with you? Am I trying to impress your grandma? Heidi's mother arrogantly jumped in, boasting proudly. Our Heidi spent 1 million on her renovations. How about that, you poor little brat? Do you have any idea what real power looks like? Hearing this, Fin couldn't help but scoff, holding up a finger. 1 million? Is that supposed to be a lot? Tristan Quang spent 35 million on his renovations. The woman burst out laughing, dripping with sarcasm. You're killing me. If you'd said 500,000, I might have believed you. But 35 million? Who are you trying to fool? A ghost. Heidi's mother looked at them with utter contempt. Kids, these days, just lie without thinking. That's when Tristan stepped up, a spark in his eye, and made a dramatic bet. If I really spent 35 million, you have to call me dad. She just scoffed and declared arrogantly. Tristan, what kind of act are you putting on? I already looked into it. You sold your only house for 3 million, tops. Where would you get 35 million from? A pathetic simp like you will end up with nothing. A second later, her mother, blinded by arrogance, jumped in on the bet. If you really spent 35 million, I'll call you dad too. The words had barely left her mouth when an employee cheerfully brought a folder over to Tristan. Mr. Quang, you forgot your contract. Instantly, Heidi's mom snatched the paper, ready to expose him. Perfect. Let's see the real number and expose you in front of everyone. But suddenly, all the color drained from her face. Heidi asked impatiently, Mom, what does it say? Is it a pathetically small amount? Her mother turned, trembling, and bit her lip as she answered, It's really 35 million. Desperate to save face, she pointed a shaky finger. It's fake. This contract must be fake. How could he possibly have 35 million? Without hesitation, the employee frowned and delivered the fatal blow. Ma'am, our boss, Mr. Zhao, signed this contract personally. How could it possibly be fake? If you continue to slander Tianhong decor, we will be forced to take legal action. Victorious, Tristan gave his smug command. Go on. Call me dad. Heidi's mother's face turned beet red as she furiously screamed back. You piece of trash. Who the hell do you think you are? I'm old enough to be your mother, and you want me to call you dad. Wasting no more words, Tristan slapped her right across the face, a harsh wake-up call. Seeing this, Finn snickered with satisfaction. So satisfying. A greedy old hag like that deserved it. Tristan simply signaled and turned to leave. Let's go. Sobbing, Heidi pointed a finger, her voice sharp with hatred. Tristan Quang, you're insane. You dared to hit my mother. I'll never forgive you for this. You just wait. The scene shifts to the villa, late at night. A confused Finn asked a simple question. Why did we come back here? Tristan smiled knowingly. I told you. Next, I'm going to make you believe the apocalypse is coming. Finn listened, half believing, half skeptical. You've been acting so strange these past few days. Either the world is really ending, or you've gone completely crazy. As they stepped onto the balcony, a cold wind swept past, making Finn shiver. Damn, it's freezing. It's the middle of summer. I can't believe how cold it is tonight. This weather really is strange. Tristan, we've been out here for 2 hours. Nothing's happening. I'm going back to bed. Tristan glanced at the clock on his phone and announced calmly, it's time. Just as a streak of light shot across the night sky, Tristan spoke. It's here. Finn looked up, confused. Isn't that just a shooting star? What's here? At that moment, Tristan's expression turned serious as he began to explain. The true apocalypse won't officially begin for another half a month, but there are many signs that appear before it does. The most obvious ones are the nights getting colder, and shooting stars appearing more and more frequently. Then, another streak of light, growing larger and larger, hurtled towards them. Finn jumped. Tristan, that shooting star. It looks like it's coming right for us. But Tristan stood perfectly still, unmoving. His mind raced, recalling knowledge from his past life. These shooting stars were not what they seemed. They were opportunities. Anyone lucky enough to obtain one would awaken a special ability. In his previous life, this very neighborhood became his survivor base, precisely because several of these stars fell here before the apocalypse, creating powerful ability users. Tristan remembered the most crucial detail. Among the stars that fell before the end, this was the most significant one. It was fated to land in this exact empty villa. In his past life, a common thief accidentally stumbled upon it while robbing the place. Meanwhile, Finn was screaming in terror. A scream tore through the air. Oh my God, is that meteor heading right for them? Run! But without a second's thought, he leaped towards the blinding light. Come on, this destiny is mine. His friend watched in horror, trying to stop him. Chen Guang, what are you doing? Have you lost your mind? But it was too late. Chen Guang made contact with the falling star. Watching the scene unfold, Fan Viet collapsed to his knees in shock. It's over. Chen Guang was obliterated by that meteor, but he felt an overwhelming power surge through every fiber of his being. He turned, a new energy about him. Just as the data predicted, a 5-fold increase in all my physical stats. This power might not be much in the coming apocalypse, but for now, it's more than enough. Then, with a new glow about him, Chen Guang faced Fan Viet. So you believe me now? His friend could only stammer in disbelief. You're not dead? An aura of power flared around Chen Guang as he declared, not only am I alive, I've awakened a special ability. I'm much, much stronger now. Fan Viet narrowed his eyes, adjusting his glasses. Stronger? You don't look any different to me. How exactly are you stronger? Without wasting words, Chen Guang grabbed his friend's shoulder, and then effortlessly lifted him into the air. Fan Viet was completely stunned. What are you doing? Chen Guang just smiled. Do you believe me now? The color drained from Fan Viet's face as he hastily agreed. I weigh over 100 kilograms, and you just lifted me with one hand like it was nothing. But as he started to fall, panic set in and he screamed, What are you doing? Chen Guang simply smirked, calmly stating, Going down. His friend flailed wildly in midair, pleading, Oh my God, Chen Guang, don't be reckless. Just as they touched the ground, Chen Guang swiftly caught Fan Viet. He opened his eyes, his panic slowly subsiding. Whoa, I'm completely fine. Chen Guang held out a hand. Now, do you believe me? Fan Viet clutched his chest, breathing a heavy sigh of relief. I believe you. Jumping from 10 meters up without a scratch. I finally believe you. From behind them, an older woman's voice cut in. Xiao Dai, what are you staring at? The young woman frowned, looking puzzled as she replied. I thought I saw a shooting star. It looked like it fell near the villa Chen Guang is renting. Xiao Dai's mother placed a hand on her hip. A shooting star. What's the big deal? I hope it landed right on Chen Guang's head and crushed him. It'd save me the irritation of looking at him. The girl glanced outside, a nasty smirk on her face. Don't worry, Mom. Yang Zifeng is coming back soon, and we still have a score to settle from last time. If he finds out Chen Guang is here, he won't let him off easy." Hearing this, the mother quickly turned her head. Seeing the approaching figure, Xiao Dai's mother lit up. "Young Master Yang, you're back." Zifeng gave a slight nod and asked, "Yeah, where's Xiao Dai?" From behind, she called out excitedly, "Feng, I'm right here." He rushed forward impatiently, slapping her rear. "Hurry up and get in the shower. I've been holding back for days and I can't take it anymore." The mother jumped in surprise from behind them. "Young Master Yang, I'm still here, you know." Zifeng glanced back, clearly annoyed. What are you still doing here? Go heat up some water for the bath." Just then, Xiao Di turned to him with a juicy piece of gossip. "Feng, hold on, I have some news for you. Chen Guang moved into this neighborhood too." His face contorted with rage as he shouted, "What? I haven't even hunted that bastard down. And he has the nerve to show his face around here." The mother added with a malicious grin, "Young Master Yang, that Chen Guang purposely rented a villa here just to get close to my Xiao Dai. You have to drive him out of here." Zifeng pulled out his phone, his expression turning grim. "I'm calling my guys right now. I'm going to make him realize that messing with Yang Zifeng is the biggest mistake he'll ever make in his life." The call connected instantly. He spoke into the phone immediately. "Yao Zi, it's Yang Zifeng." The scene shifts to a gritty boxing club, where a man named Hu Biao stands in the training ring. "Young Master Yang, go ahead." A vicious smile spread across Zifeng's face. "I need you to take care of someone for me. I'll pay you 200,000. The man on the other end grinned with excitement. "Understood. I'll have an answer for you in 2 hours, young Master Yang." Hu Biao refocused his attention on the ring. He raised a single finger, signaling to his opponent, "I have business to attend to. Playtime is over. Let's end this match now." The reigning champion's face twisted in fury. "A rookie like you dares to look down on me, the boxing king? You're asking for death." But Hu Biao was faster, unleashing a devastating punch. The crowd below gasped in utter disbelief. Is Biao Zi really a rookie? He took down the underground boxing king in a single punch. I've never seen a newcomer like that before. A new king of the underground fighting world has just been born. Meanwhile, back inside a quiet villa, a voice rang out, and that's basically what the early stages of the Ice Age apocalypse will look like. After watching everything, Fan Viet could only let out a heavy sigh. It's too brutal. I can't believe humanity is facing such a disastrous fate. Chen Guang, sitting calmly in his chair, posed a question. Fan Viet, have you decided what you're going to do now? His friend stood up, his expression hardening with resolve. Chen Guang, just tell me. I'll follow your lead. Whatever you say we should do, I'll do it. Chen Guang's brow furrowed as he gave a firm instruction. All right, first, go home and liquidate all of your father's assets. The request left Fan Viet completely bewildered. My father's assets? But, look, even with our assets, trying to convince my dad the apocalypse is real is like asking him to believe I've completely lost my mind. He explained, trying to make him understand. You have to get it. In half a month, money will be worthless paper. Supplies are the only thing that will matter. Your dad could be the richest man on earth, and it wouldn't mean a thing. His friend's resolve was finally shaken, and a look of determination crossed his face. All right, I'll risk my father beating me to death for this. I'm willing to be the family disgrace with you. I'm heading back right now. But suddenly, Chen Guang's eyes shot open in shock. He raised a single finger to his lips, glancing outside urgently. Don't say another word for now. Pan Yue's jaw dropped in surprise. What's wrong? Just then, Chen Guang saw them. His villa was completely surrounded. One of the men pointed toward the house, reporting the situation. Boss Biao has the entire villa locked down. He's not getting away. The leader smirked. Excellent. Break down the door. A massive gu named Ah Da stepped forward, hefting a huge sledgehammer. Leave it to me. A vicious and cunning look spread across his face, but in the next instant, the front door swung open. Chen Guang strolled out, one hand casually in his pocket. He asked coolly, "And who might you all be?" Hu Biao pointed forward, his eyes narrowing in suspicion. "So, you already knew we were here. Are you a martial artist, too?" Chen Guang's brow furrowed with annoyance as recognition dawned. "You're Duan Hu Biao." The gangster was visibly surprised to hear his own name. "You know who I am." But Chen Guang already knew everything about this man. His name was Duan Hu Biao, nicknamed Biao Zi, one of the lucky few who would gain a great opportunity after the world fell. In the early days of the apocalypse, he controlled a powerful faction. Compared to the others who gained powers, this Biao Zi actually had a conscience. He never did anything too heinous. Hu Biao pointed a finger forward, his voice a low growl. "Listen up, kid. Yang Zifeng sent me to take care of you. I won't make it too difficult. Just lie still and take your beating. At most, you'll get a few broken ribs. You'll be bedridden for half a year, that's all. But our hero simply stood there, calmly crossing his arms. I won't make it difficult for you either. Get lost. Hearing that, the gangster's face lit up with excitement as he lunged forward, throwing a punch. You've got a big mouth on you. Let's see if a punk like you has what it takes to back that up. But Chen Guang was faster, effortlessly sidestepping the attack. Too slow. Hu Biao didn't let up, pressing his attack once more. His reaction speed is insane, but Chen Guang immediately countered with a powerful punch of his own. The surrounding henchmen stared, their jaws hanging open in utter disbelief. Boss Biao, got knocked down by that kid? This can't be real. The boss just defeated the underground boxing king. The gangster's entire body trembled as he realized this was no ordinary kid. Chen Guang stood calmly with a hand on his hip, asking, had enough? But Hu Biao quickly scrambled back to his feet, his will unbroken. The man who can make me, Duan Hu Biao, submit hasn't been born yet. Without hesitating, Chen Guang delivered another crushing blow. He then asked the same question again. How about now? Lying on the ground, Hu Biao's body trembled as he explained. The person who can make me submit hasn't been born. But in front of you, I have no power to even fight back. This is absurd. But I still won't submit. Chen Guang simply crossed his arms and made him an offer. It would be boring if you submitted so easily. Do one thing for me, and I can give you the means to save your little sister. Upon hearing this, the gangsters stared in absolute shock. You know my sister is sick. How could you possibly know that? Chen Guang answered with unshakable confidence. I don't just know she's sick. I know she has a terminal illness, one that modern medicine has no cure for. You fight in underground tournaments, risking your life for others, all to save money for your sister's treatment. Hu Biao staggered to his feet, his mind reeling. How do you know all this? Can you really save my sister? A confident smile touched our hero's lips as he leaned in. In this entire world, I am the only one who knows how to save her. The only question is, do you believe me? At that moment, the gangster made his choice. You were strong enough to beat me. I'll believe you. Tell me, what do I need to do? But first, Chen Guang gave him a direct order. Right now, I need you to go beat Yang Zifeng into a pulp. Make it so he can't get out of bed for half a month, and make sure he coughs up as much money as possible. The gangster's brow furrowed in hesitation for just a moment, before he turned and roared to his men. All right, boys, you're with me. A subordinate named Ah Ching turned to him, looking hesitant. Boss Biao, are you really going to trust this guy? But the gangster's decision was absolute. I have no choice but to trust him. Right now, I have to grasp any hope I can find to save my sister. Meanwhile, back at Zifeng's mansion. By now, that loser, Chen Guang, is probably in the hospital. We should get down to business. At his words, Xiao Dai's face flushed bright red. Master Feng, you're awful. Suddenly, a loud commotion erupted from outside. Xiao Dia's mother stormed out of the house, furious. Who is it? It's the middle of the night. Are you trying to interrupt Master Yang and my Xiao Dai? She threw the door open, screaming. What do you think you're doing? Hu Biao, leading the charge, shoved her aside without a second glance. Get out of the way. The woman reached out, trying to grab his shoulder. Young man, do you have no manners at all? Do you have any idea whose house you're barging into? Hu Biao had heard enough. He swung his arm back with force. A sharp slap echoed. Get lost. Zifeng, hand on his hip, was completely baffled. Duan Hu Biao, you're here. Is it done? He held up his phone, declaring confidently, here's 200,000 yuan. You don't actually need to be here. I can just transfer it directly. But the man suddenly threw a punch. Xiao Die quickly dropped to her knees to block it, letting out a cry. Brother Feng. Oh my god, what are you people doing? Duan Hu Biao trembled, pointing a finger in disbelief. Damn it, are you insane? Why did you hit me? But the man didn't stop, instead roaring an order to his underlings. Get him. And just like that, Zifeng was swarmed by the entire crew. Fear finally crept into his voice as he tried to bargain. Duan Hu Biao, stop this right now. Name your price. I'll give you anything. If you dare touch me again, the Yang family's Haolong group will hunt you down and kill you. Hearing this, the man raised a hand, signaling his crew to stop. Zifeng staggered to his feet, his arrogance returning. That's more like it. You made a huge mistake by touching me. Hu Biao jutted out his chin, his voice cold as ice. Brother Chen's orders were to string this guy up and beat him. The words hit him like a ton of bricks, his jaw dropping in shock. What? Duan Hu Biao, have you lost your mind? Zifeng whipped his head around, demanding answers. Who is this Brother Chen? Don't tell me it's Chen Guang. Spit it out. With a bruised and swollen face, Zifeng was strung up. I only have 10 million I can access right now. Anything more requires approval from the Haolong group, and I need to be there in person. Hu Biao crossed his arms, his face a mask of grim determination. Transfer the 10 million. Immediately. The phone screen lit up, confirming the transaction. The scene shifts, and Pan Yue glances over to ask a question. Chen Guang, the advisor, just posted in the class group. We're going for our internship tomorrow. Are you coming? But Chen Guang's reply was cold and decisive. I'm not going. Then, he suddenly turned back, a question in his eyes. Wait, what's the location? His friend answered just as quickly. Near Xincheng, in the northern district. Chen Guang shoved his hands in his pockets, his decision reversed. I'll go. I happen to need to scout that area anyway. Just then, his phone rang. It was Hu Biao with an update. Brother Chen, it's me, Biao Zi. Yang Zifeng coughed up 10 million. I've already transferred it to you. A grin spread across Chen Guang's face, a hint of dark amusement in his eyes. Got it. The scene changes again, this time to a familiar lottery ticket stand. He stood below, looking up eagerly. I almost forgot I still haven't checked my ticket. If this one's a winner, I can buy a ton of supplies. A moment later, Chen Guang stared at the ticket, his face darkening with anger. After a moment, he thought, I remember the winning number from my past life perfectly. How could I not have won? But then, the reason dawned on him. The butterfly effect? No, that can't be it. Everything else has remained the same, which means there's only one other possibility. Someone beat me to it. Chen Guang walked down the street, thinking to himself, looks like I'll have to find another way to make a fortune. Near a bus, voices of complaint could be heard. I can't believe the internship is starting already. I haven't even had enough fun in college yet. And we're finance majors. The financial sector has been so unstable lately. I just hope we get assigned somewhere decent. The moment Liu Jie saw him, she stormed over, her voice dripping with anger. Chen Guang, you dare show your face here? But Chen Guang just offered a calm smile, retorting, and why wouldn't I dare to show my face? She pointed an accusing finger at him, her voice rising. Why did you ditch the bill last time? Explain yourself, right now. Xiao Ran, standing behind her with arms crossed, added fuel to the fire. Pay up. Do you have any idea that 20,000 yuan forced us to work part-time like slaves for a month? After hearing them out, Chen Guang turned away dismissively. What the hell does that have to do with me? But then, Liu Jie's entire demeanor changed in an instant. Chen Guang, please, help us pay it back. We'll agree to do anything you want, okay? Chen Guang was taken aback by the offer. Oh? You'll agree to anything? Xiao Ran draped herself over his shoulder, purring. Chen Guang, you've gotten a little naughty, haven't you? If that's how it is, give us 20,000 yuan. And we won't go back to the dorms tonight. But Chen Guang simply held up a hand with a counteroffer. Fine. But first, you two lend me 40,000 yuan. Furious, she shot him the middle finger. Chen Guang, you just wait. A little while later, Pan Yue arrived from a distance. Chen Guang, I'm here. He turned, crossing his arms and noticing something was off. Why are your eyes so swollen? His friend confessed everything. I was crying. Remember I had to go back and tell my dad the world was ending? I knew just talking wouldn't convince him, so I burst into tears. A bright smile lit up Chen Guang's face as he asked, did it work? Pan Yue's expression soured as he recounted the tale. Work? Hell no. I cried for 2 solid hours. My dad didn't even look at me. Finally, he got so annoyed he grabbed his stick and beat the crap out of me. It hurt so damn much, so I started crying all over again. After hearing the whole story, Chen Guang could only sigh. You're really one of a kind. He then put a comforting hand on his friend's shoulder. Don't lose hope. Take it slow. Didn't it take you a few days to accept the truth about the apocalypse? Imagine how it is for your dad. From afar, Zhang Dong pushed up his glasses and yelled, all students, get ready to board the bus. We're leaving. All right, time to move out, announced advisor Qi Jiangdong. With everyone settled on the bus, the trip began. But Fan Viet leaned over, looking desperate. Chen Guang, you got any water? He begged. I ate something way too salty last night. Chen Guang could only sigh, completely fed up. You're so much trouble. I didn't bring any. Just then, Kui Kui, sitting nearby, held out her bottle. Student Chen Guang, I have some water for you. A bright, grateful smile instantly appeared on Chen Guang's face. Thank you, he said, reaching over to take the bottle from her. Her face flushed red as she tried to comfort him. Student Chen Guang, I heard about what happened with you and Song Xiaodi. I really hope you can move past it and not be too heartbroken. But Chen Guang simply turned to her, his expression resolute. Student Qi Kui Kui, don't worry about me. I'm not sad at all. In fact, I'm thrilled I finally got to see her true colors. She then opened her wallet, wanting to help even more. I also heard she tricked you out of a lot of money. If you're short on cash, I have a little you can take. Chen Guang quickly waved his hands, refusing the offer. No, really, it's fine. I'm not short on money. I know your family situation isn't easy, he said gently. You save that money by scrimping on your own meals. How could I ever take that from you? Van Viet, noticing the tender exchange, leaned in close. Hey, Chen Guang, this Kui girl is totally into you. Maybe you should? Chen Guang's brow furrowed in annoyance. Just drink your water and shut your mouth. After some time, the bus finally rolled to a stop. All right, students, we have arrived, Advisor Qi Zhangdong announced, clipboard in hand. Please exit the bus in an orderly fashion. I will now announce your internship placements. He then began to give a quick overview of the company structure. Turns out, the internship was divided into 3 tiers. The third floor placement was the absolute best, offering access to the company's core projects. Next was the second floor. An easy placement, but you wouldn't learn anything of value. And the worst was the first floor, where you were nothing more than a security guard or an errand boy. Basically, free labor. Advisor Qi cleared his throat and began to read the list. Third floor interns Wang Da, Zhang Xiaoren, Liu Ji. Hearing her name, Xiaoren was absolutely ecstatic. We really got the third floor. Brother Hao is so reliable. But Liu Ji leaned in, a worried look on her face. But what about the promise we made to Brother Hao? At that, both girls immediately shifted their gaze straight toward Kui. A cruel smirk formed on Xiaoren's face. You know that Kui isn't bad. She's a country girl with no background and no connections. I bet she's still a virgin. Liu Jia's expression turned just as venomous as she nodded in agreement. Then let's pick her. Meanwhile, Advisor Qi continued reading the list. Second floor interns Bai Xiaofei, Wang Teng, Xiao Yan, and Wang Lin. Fan Viet's anger flared. Wait, our names weren't called. Don't tell me we didn't even make it to the second floor. But the advisor just coldly adjusted his glasses. The remaining 3, Fan Viet, Chen Guang, and Chi Kui. You'll be interning on the first floor. Kui's face fell, her voice filled with dread. The first floor? We're not going to learn anything at all down there. The other students immediately began to whisper among themselves. I can't believe those 3 got stuck on the first floor. Chen Guang and Kui makes sense, I guess. But why is a rich kid like Fan Viet down there with them? Qi Zhangdong, on what grounds? Fan Viet demanded. The advisor scoffed at the outburst. On what grounds, you ask? These placements were decided fairly by the school and the company. He then glared at Chen Guang. Don't you complain. One can shine in any position. Chen Guang's eyes narrowed as he shot back without hesitation. Fairly? There's a saying, sir. We don't scam our own people, just the idiots. Advisor Qi's face turned crimson with rage. Chen Guang, how dare you speak to me like that? Are you trying to fail your graduation? He pointed a shaking finger, desperately trying to justify himself. How have I, your advisor, been the least bit unfair? Fan Viet is a rich young master, is he not? And he's stuck on the first floor with a nobody like you. Doesn't that prove it's fair? At that, Fan Viet exploded, laying the truth bare for all to hear. You shameless bastard. That's because you called my father and demanded money. You told him a little fee would guarantee me a spot on the 3rd floor. My dad turned you down flat. So don't you dare stand there and pretend to be righteous. Exposed. Advisor Qi was left sputtering. Fan Viet. You insolent whelp. But Fan Viet just held up his phone with a defiant smirk. I have the whole conversation recorded. Would you like a listen, sir? The advisor was completely trapped. You. Just then, Wang Da stepped forward with a condescending sneer. Chen Guang, look at the trouble you've caused. He strutted forward, pointing an accusing finger. Look how angry you've all made the advisor. Do you people have any respect for your teachers at all? Xiaoren chimed in, crossing her arms with a wicked smile. That's right. The advisor worked so hard for us. You should be grateful instead of being so picky and ungrateful. Liu Jie put her hands on her hips, adding fuel to the fire. Someone like him doesn't even deserve an internship placement. Chen Guang didn't even give them the time of day, simply turning his head. Who the hell are you? Get lost. Enraged, Wang Da's finger trembled with fury. Chen Guang, I swear, ever since Song Xiaodi dumped a pathetic simp like you, you've completely lost your mind. How dare you speak to me like that? But his words were cut short by a stinging slap. Enraged, Wang Da raised his hand and lunged forward. You're the one who started this. But Chen Guang stopped his attack with just one hand, sending a tremor of disbelief through Wang Da's entire body. How can you be this strong? Chen Guang answered with a brutal barrage of slaps. I told you to get lost. Wang Da clutched his swollen face and whined to the advisor. This guy is completely insane. Chen Guang furiously slammed a punch into him, sending him crashing to the floor. Didn't you hear me? From behind, Zhang Dong placed a hand on his shoulder. Stop this at once. Chen Guang, as your teacher, I order you to stop and apologize. Now. But Chen Guang didn't hesitate to slap him hard across the face. And you have the nerve to call yourself a teacher. Seeing this, Pan Yue had to stifle a laugh of approval. Damn, that was a great hit. The onlookers' jaws dropped in utter disbelief. Was this really the same Chen Guang they knew? He actually dared to strike his own advisor. Clutching his face, Zhang Dong's body trembled as he pointed a shaking finger and declared, "You've crossed a terrible line. I am officially informing you that you are fired from this internship. You will never get another opportunity again." But Chen Guang remained perfectly calm as he delivered another punch. "You think I care? Keep running your mouth, and I'll slap you to death." With that, he turned his back and walked away. Pan Yue, we're leaving. Suddenly, he remembered something and glanced back, worried. What about Chi Kui Kui? He turned back around and made an offer. Chi Kui Kui, come with me. She was too stunned to even process the words. Just then, Su Xiaoran approached the advisor, whispering a suggestion. Right now, Chi Kui Kui is the only one left on the first floor. It's not really safe for a girl to be all alone. So how about you let her come with me and Liu Ji? We'll take good care of her. The advisor pushed up his glasses and took out his phone. You girls handle it. I'm going to find the principal. That brat Chen Guang has to be expelled for this. Su Xiaoran walked over and grabbed her hand with a deceptively friendly smile. Chi Kui Kui. Let's go up to the third floor. If you stick with Chen Guang, you'll never find a decent job after you graduate. Chen Guang simply raised a hand to wave. You go on ahead. Call me if anything happens. Kui Kui turned and waved back. Okay, you be careful out there. Chen Guang finally let a small smile show. Let's move. It's time we get to our real objective. The scene shifts and Pan Yu begins to explain. Chen Guang, this is the largest transfer warehouse in the entire province. It's packed with a massive amount of goods that get shipped out to supermarkets every single day. He glanced around, his sharp eyes immediately figuring out the reason. Chen Guang, you didn't bring me here because you're targeting the supplies inside, did you? Hearing that, Chen Guang offered a quick compliment. You're smarter than you look. Pan Yue immediately started to panic, trying to stop him. No way. I know this place has the most supplies, but how could we possibly get them? Are you suggesting we steal them? Even if we tried, we'd never make it inside. Chen Guang's gaze shifted to another area. Let's check over there. It looks like they're hiring. Help wanted. He walked right up to the desk. Excuse me, are you hiring? The recruiter stated the requirement bluntly. We are, but we only hire women, no men. Pan Yue shot him a helpless, confused look. What do we do now? They're not hiring men? Chen Guang turned, already making a new plan. We'll go back for Chi Kui Kui. We'll ask her for help. The scene changes to an office. Liu Jie lowered her head and spoke softly. Brother Hao just called, he said to prepare immediately. Boss Jiang needs someone right now. And the requirement is, she has to be a virgin. Su Xiaoran put a hand on her hip, a wicked smile on. Go and confirm if that Chi Kui Kui is still a virgin. She then approached the unsuspecting girl from behind. Chi Kui Kui. How is the work coming along? The girl turned around, her face beaming with genuine excitement. I've learned so many things I never could in school. Xiaoran, Liu Jie, thank you both so much. Xiaoran put on her kindest face. Don't mention it. We're all classmates. It's what we're here for. She suddenly slung an arm around her shoulder, asking an odd question. Sui Kui, let me ask you something. Have you ever had a boyfriend before? The girl looked up, a bit flustered. No. Why do you ask? Liu Ji clapped her hands together excitedly. Oh, that's just perfect. In that case, how about we introduce you to a boyfriend? Kui Kui immediately waved her hands in refusal. Oh, no thank you. Right now, I just want to focus on my work and save up some money. Thank you for the offer, though. A contemptuous smirk flashed across Xiaoran's face. And how much money can you possibly make from working? The guy we want to introduce you to is incredibly rich. One small gift from him would be more than you'd make in years of work. Kui Kui stammered, trying to find an excuse. I really don't. But Su Xiaoran was faster, already grabbing her arm and pulling her along. Come on, just go and meet him first. If you're not interested after that, you can just say no. The scene cuts to the front of a huge corporate building. Kui Kui was still trying to back out. Really, it's okay. I'm not looking to date right now. A sinister smile spread across Xiaoran's face. We're already here. Liu Jie chimed in. The woman escorted her in, gesturing grandly. Boss Jiang, we brought the girl you asked for. Boss Jiang held a coffee cup, a look of satisfaction on his face. Wang Hao's work was always reliable. This girl, she looks so innocent. Xiao Ran placed a hand on her shoulder, pressing her forward. Chi Kui Kui, what are you waiting for? Greet Boss Jiang. This is the boyfriend we wanted to introduce you to. Kui Kui turned, her expression frozen in utter shock and disbelief. What? How could you? The man simply raised a hand, his words dripping with praise. The two of you did a fine job. I am very satisfied. Each of you can go to the finance office and collect 30,000 yuan. The two women bowed their heads obediently. Thank you, Boss Jiang. Xiao Ran cast one last look over her shoulder, her final words like a death sentence. Boss Jiang, please enjoy yourself. We won't disturb you any further. Kui Kui's hand shot out in desperation. Wait for me? I don't want to stay here. But her supposed friend slammed the heavy door shut, sealing her fate. From behind, Boss Jiang's voice cut through the silence as he stood up. Come here. Serve me well, and you can collect even more money than they did. She backed against the cold wood of the door, her voice a desperate threat. Boss Jiang, I'm not that kind of person. Let me leave, or I swear I'll call the police. But he only let out a dangerous, mocking laugh. The police? The entire security team are my brothers. Who exactly do you plan on calling? Kui Kui's body shook with uncontrollable tremors as she begged. I just want to work here peacefully. Boss Jiang, please, I'm begging you, let me go. But in the next moment, he slapped her phone out of her hand, sending it skittering across the floor. Boss Jiang declared with chilling cruelty. Once a woman enters my room, not a single one has ever walked out of here untouched. But on the phone's screen, glowing in the dim light, were two words, call connected. Chen Guan.